Today we're going to talk about fraction decimal comparison. Okay, so what that really means is if I have a fraction and I have a decimal, how do I compare them? How do I know if 1/2 is greater than, less than, or equal to 65 hundredths? Okay, and today I'm going to teach you guys about how to change a fraction into a decimal. Okay, and so the easiest way to do that is that we have 1/2. Okay, and what that line in a fraction really means to do is to divide. So this really means 1/2, 1 divided by 2. So you would write that as 1 divided by 2. Okay, so now you have to ask yourself, how many times does 2 go into 1? Well, it doesn't go at all. So what you have to do is you have to add your decimal. You're going to annex a 0. Okay, and you already know that you just move that decimal straight out. So now you really have how many times does 2 go into 10? 2 goes into 10 5 times. So your decimal equivalency is 5/10. So we know that 1/2 is equal to 5/10. So if we go back to that first slide that we had, okay, we can actually write it down below. Okay, and now we can compare. Does 5/10, is it greater than, less than, or equal to 65 hundredths? And remember, if you annex those zeros, you know, because you're going to compare place values. So we're going to look at this place value. Spot, which is in the 10th place, is 6 or 5 greater. We know that 6 is greater. So we want to make sure that our greater than sign is going to 65 hundredths. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say that I have 2/3. Okay, 2/3 in comparison to, let's say 375 thousandths. All right, we want to write this fraction as a decimal. So we're going to remember the line on a fraction means to divide. So this really means 2 divided by 3. So 2 is going to go in the house. 3 is going to go outside of the house. Does 3 go into 2 evenly? No. So we have to annex our 0. So we're going to add the decimal and a 0. Okay, does 3 now go into 20? Yes, it does, 6 times. So we're going to put our 6 there. 18. We're going to subtract. We got to bring it down because 3 does not go into 2 evenly. Okay, so we're going to bring down our 0. 3 goes into 20 6 more times. Uh-oh. What do you notice about what's happening here? We notice that it's going to be a repeating decimal, which means that the 6 is going to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? And so the way that we would do that is we would write it as, okay, with the line over it. You can write it, this particular one, 2/3 is equal to 66 with a line over it. You can do it with just 1, because that just means that the 6 is going to continually repeat. Sometimes you will see that that this is actually equal to 667 thousandths, because what they did was when you got that last place, they rounded it up. So all of these are equivalent to 2/3. So if we go back to that question, is 2/3 greater than, less than, or equal to 375 thousandths? We know that 2/3 is going to be greater. Okay, and that is how you're going to change a fraction into a decimal.